makes very like high level stuff look simple. You know.
Coach, good morning. Home win, Monday night, primetime win last night, and the defense sure looked pretty unbelievable. I would imagine a pretty good level of pride this morning in what your defense accomplished.
Yeah. Trying to win the game, you know, and we talk about it all the time, like complementary football, picking each other up, staying together, playing our style of ball. You know, I think we've really shifted our focus and focusing on how we play and, you know, trying to make teams respond to us. And the guys did that last night. They did a great job.
You were focused on other matters, but let me just thank you as a complimentary sports teammate in Seattle. The Seattle sports fan needed that last night, Mike, after the absolute just gutting in the 7th inning there in Toronto. Yeah. So thank you from all the Seattle sports fans out there for, you know, being a complimentary teammate and finding a way to get it done last night.
Yeah, it's a bummer about the Mariners, man. It was a heck of a run. It was a heck of a run. I mean, as a special team, you know, I really thought we were gonna take care of business and going all the way, but they'll bounce back. They'll be back. It's a great team, man. They got a great core, and I didn't know about the game until I was walking out on the podium after. So it's a bummer to hear that.
Yeah. I would imagine a little bit of focus in that moment on the job you have ahead of you.
Yeah, you know, you're going into the game. You just I saw it on the big screen, you know, pregame, but that was it. So,
can I ask you a question? We had our baseball analyst on, great guy. His name's Jeff Passan, super knowledgeable, and actually it was the one place, as I told him last night in the game, where maybe there is a true intersection as a play caller between football and baseball, and that is, and I know I have said this, Mike, in big moments. I know you respect Joel Klatt. He sure loves you and respects you, and he loves to say this as well. In really big moments, players, not plays. Yep. Do you find yourself, does that go through your mind in really big moments that you found yourself in as a play caller, as a strategist, of players, not plays?
The easy thing is to say yes. I mean, and that's what you should do. It is sometimes, you know, I probably have a bad tendency of you know, getting pulled in the other way, but that is definitely the right philosophy. I mean, even like Belichick used to say in one of the books or whatever, he's just, you know, in the most critical times, you go to your most dependable players, you know. So that's always resonated with me too over time, but he's right.
Defensively, who is that for you? I mean, I have a pretty good sense.
Well, it's a lot of guys. You know, you're thinking of matchups and what you like going into the game and how they respond. And, you know, 12 going out of the game last night affected how we were calling some things. So for them, you know, so you got to be able to adjust on the fly. But yeah, we fortunately we have a lot of great players that you can kind of turn to and let them go to work in those times.
We've talked a ton about Leonard Williams, and today seems like another good day to do so. We've talked a lot about his athleticism and just the freaky speed, size, combination, strength, all of it. What about his instincts? What should I know about Leonard Williams' instincts on the defensive line on the football field?
Yeah, you like it comes through preparation and like experience. I mean, yeah, when you say instincts, I also think like Demarcus Lawrence is a guy that comes, you know, the top of my mind. Just, you know, you can't like given inputs that offenses give you, they can't once they line up, they can't run every play from that look. You know, by how people line up and how people stand and, you know, all the kind of inputs that go into it, you start to whittle down like what they can possibly run, and then now you're diagnosing, okay, well, who's going to block me here? How are they going to block me? Okay, I'm going against so and so. He does that like this, so now I'm kind of going to the plan that I've had throughout the whole week, and so it's a lot of processing that has to happen in real time, and that comes with experience. It comes with reps. It comes with prep. It comes with communication with the guys next to you. You know, all that stuff's going on. That's some high-powered stuff.
So we have two things we got to ask you about today. from your post-game celebration there in the locker room. Salk, you want to take one of them? I'll take the other one.
You start.
Can
Secret
you?
language.
Yes. Can you? I'll watch my language. Can you define what the death zone is?
This is something that AD actually started on defense, and I thought it was a great idea on just what your mentality has to be to win in the NFL. Is there's going to be hard, it's going to be tough situations that you got to play through, and like that's how you have to want it. You have to want to be in those adverse times, So that's how we train. That's we welcome those situations, those tough situations. We have periods in practice that we put our guys in. It's just we're trying to make it second nature. So when it happens in the game, it's just like, this is just how we operate. We knew we had to operate. Look, there's a really good team, and there's going to be hard situations in all three phases last night that we knew we were going to be in, and we needed to be able to win those situations. So,
what are M.O.B ties?
Why do you ask it like that?
Well, I'm curious if you have like mafia ties. Like, what do you mean? What are M.O.B ties?
It's an acronym.
All right. See, there you go, Brock. What is it an acronym for?
I can't believe you asked it like that.
Well,
it's something stupid. Like
I didn't mean it was
M.O.B ties.
Well, I was more concerned that we were getting into something illegal.
Even worse, our players came up with it.
Jeez.
So now you're insulting our players.
Oh, good.
Oh, great.
Just what I need.
Sure you
Wouldn't
know
be the
about
first time. Yeah. Ex-players especially.
No, I mean, look, our guys, they thought it was important to have of how we want to operate and kind of it's our thing, it means something to us. I mean, it's an acronym for mission over other stuff.
Okay.
And it's just it's a 12 as one type of play that our guys it's organic to our guys and something they believe in, and I think it's great. But that you have to have that mentality again. When something isn't when one guy needs to be picked up over another, or one phase over another, you got to be able to have that stick togetherness. We haven't always had that here, as me as a head coach, and so it's great that that's where we're at.
Can you give me an example last night or two of shocking effort? That just has resonated with me when you shared it with us early this season, and we've done this a few different times. Was there, as you watched the film last night, Jack on your lap hanging out? Well, it's probably too late for
that.
Jack.
Didn't happen. He was
sleeping.
sleeping.
Yeah, he's in bed.
The only person excited to see me last night was my dog Tommy.
There you go. Is you and Tommy watching the tape? Can you give me a shocking effort or two?
Yeah, I think it's the short yardage plays. Our guys just they're going to defend a blade of grass. That's the mentality. They convert. They get explosive into the red zone, and we're just scratching and clawing for ops. And then and there's a couple runs again. Look, I love the touchdown run, the first touchdown run to Sharps. There's nothing there, and Brady starts pushing him. The whole crew starts pushing him. Zach's still pushing, and we scored a touchdown. I mean that is some big time, physical, relentless type football right there that helps you win games. So that was awesome.
How as a coach and coordinator, how fun is it to find ways to use a player like Nick Emmanwori?
It's a lot of look. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. He's playing nickel, and he just he has a mentality of he really cares about executing the right way. I guess is the best way to put it. Mm-hmm. And so that's what makes it fun is the mentality that he has, where it's not just like whatever, I just go do whatever. There's attention to detail. He feels a responsibility to the rest of his teammates to execute, and that's what makes it fun. All the guys when guys have that mentality. I'm thinking of even like guys like Tyakata coming in, Drake, Chenna, Brandon P, all those guys that come in and have that mentality, man. Like those all our guys are really fun to coach because they have that approach every day.
So I guess the other part of that all makes sense. Adding to it though, just some of his versatility, size, speed, combination.
Yeah.
I mean, like how many different ways can you use a guy like that on the football field?
Well, I think we have plenty of room to grow on that front. You have to be careful on how much you start putting him in 17 positions. I think you start to see some diminishing returns right now, but the curve is there, and we want to be aggressive with it too, especially with us getting healthy in the back end. It's gonna be competitive for playtime and stuff. So that's part of the things that we're going to be doing this week is figuring out how we're going to play our guys and kind of what the next step is without going crazy. I mean, we've played basically one personnel group here for 2 weeks in a row. Versus dang near every offensive set, and we've played well, So anytime I gotta save our team from me sometimes, where you say, oh well, we could do this, we could do that, we could do that. Okay, well that sounds great, but how many times are we gonna be able to practice it? Can we get good at it? How are you gonna get called? How many times are you gonna get called in a game? Now you got to be right when you call it. There's a little added pressure rather than just keep throwing your fastballs with targeted curveballs and stuff. So that's all the stuff that goes into it. But yeah, there's definitely room for growth.
Mike, I had somebody in the NFL text me this morning who was breaking down the game and said, "Who is Drake Thomas? Who is this little linebacker that is just everywhere? Who is he?"
He's everywhere. I've talked about it over the course of this last week, but I really got to give John and our personnel staff a massive shout out because this is a guy that he was hurt when we showed up, but analytically, through the scout's eyes, so to speak, it was all like, hey, this guy's a good football player, man. And then he hadn't had a chance to get all the reps early with the new coaching staff to kind of prove himself, and they were steadfast in their belief in that he was a good player. And that's, from my perspective, that's hard to say, okay, whatever. But we kind of worked together on it, and we decided that when he came back, he was ready to go, and he was playing good football for us on special teams. But just a determined, really good football player. He does things that a big linebacker does. He has power, he has strike, he can't, he tackles, he can cover in space and press into people, where sometimes you guys that are a little shorter, sometimes you worry about that, but he does those things. He does those things to his ability and his anticipation. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty
Similar
awesome.
size to you? Similar size?
No, he's big. He's bigger than I.
It's funny, Brock. I was actually thinking the same thing as he was talking about him. I wonder if you relate to him a little
I've done
bit.
my body score. I'm carrying a little more fat than Drake is.
How Josh Jobe has become one of my favorite guys to watch. It's the feist and the compete level.
Yep.
How high is his compete level?
Super high. Super high. You start to go, the longer you're around the game, you figure out, some things that are kind of really important to certain positions. And if to play corner, especially in our defense, because we try to press so much, you got to be a great competitor, man. And he is. I mean, the guy, he loves to press, and he's really good at it. So the more ways we can get him to go up there and do his thing, the better.
I also said, a couple weeks ago that we still weren't talking about Leonard enough. I'll throw another guy out there that maybe we're not talking about enough. You probably are, but maybe you can help us talk a little bit more about him. And that's Jarran Reed, who at his age just seems to be just as good as he's always been. Give me some talking points that I can use down the road here to make sure that we're talking more about what Jarran's doing for the team.
Well, first of all, he's a complete D tackle, so he can do everything you have. I mean, it's not like he's not just a third down, 3 technique rush. He can play the A gap when you need him to. He can play he can play all across the front, which gives us some versatility with those guys, which is great. Pass rush wise, also not only is he a good one-on-one rusher, he can push the pocket when he gets 2 guys on him, but he's also kind of a good game runner. So like all those things apply. And the thing that sticks out to me is like this guy, he is responsible for like just the attitude of the team going, into games on what the standard is. And so he's kind of an enforcer on that level. But obviously the guys love him, and and he's himself, but he's a heck of a leader too.
Before Salk tries to craft some new creative JSN question, just to set the table, I got a little deeper one for you. Just hearing you talk earlier about the death zone, hearing you talk about the acronym the players came up with, that M.O.B, kind of doing this coaching thing certainly at a very, very different level where kids do care. It just strikes me, Mike, and you could say, no, Brock, way wrong on that one. It's always been the same. But I'm curious if cultivating a care factor in today's day and age, with the transactional nature of college football, the transfer portal, even in high school, all of that stuff, how important cultivating a true care factor for one another is. Is it the same today as it was 10, 15, 20 years ago when you got into coaching?
Well, I'm probably not the right person to ask on that front. I was coaching at Georgia 10, 15 years ago, coaching high school ball. You're still learning about just like what works and what doesn't back then.
Mm-hmm.
I did feel like the better teams that I were on early is when you were tighter. When we were disconnected, it felt like something was off. So that was something that's always kind of been in the back of your mind. But I would. It's hard to like compare generations, Brock. I would say it's definitely different, the challenges that you face nowadays versus X amount of years ago. I mean, the landscape is vastly different. I don't know. There's probably, you ask a coach, 20 years ago, I'm sure they said that was just as difficult. They're just probably facing different things. Mm-hmm. But it's critical. I think it's critical. It's a prerequisite to have success, in my opinion. Otherwise, you have no foundation. You have nothing to fall back on. You have nothing to build off of. So, and in the NFL, it's hard. There's a lot of stuff going on in the NFL. There's a lot of we have, how many transactions do we have as a football team? A ton a year. That's one. It's transient. Guys are in and out. And then there's a ton of money involved. There's a ton of, PR involved. Obviously, social media is a big deal. I mean, family. There's a lot of There's a lot of things going on with our guys all the time, and that's probably the biggest challenge we face. But our guys have been awesome.
Do you have to show them first how much you care in order to get their buy-in and make them care the same amount? I don't mean on purpose, but just sort of demonstrate, hey, I care. I care about you. I care about the team. Coach is going to put in the effort. We're going to try to care about you guys. I mean, is that how you
that's
get
a fair question. I don't know. I just coach like we coach. Do we do it? Is this? Hopefully that comes through. Hopefully it comes through to our guys on how much we care about them. And but you're not doing things to say like, all right, I'm going to show you how much I.
Right. Yeah, I get it. It's not something you're doing. You're not setting out with that as a mission.
Well, like now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, yeah, you just got to back up what you say. Like you can't just be full of crap up there. And you got to think out, okay, well, I'm about to go in front of the team and I'm about to tell them something. Well, I better believe in this, or we better believe in this. It's better be actually what we want to be about. Otherwise, you start throwing a bunch of wild pitches up there. They're gonna, it's not gonna land.
All right, let's see how we can try to ask about JSN this week, Brock. I think
he's on pace for 1,989 yards.
The numbers are pretty insane. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. He's not the biggest guy. He's not the fastest wide receiver in the league. We know that.
I respect this so much.
It's so hard.
It's great.
What makes him hard to cover? How's that one? Have we asked that one yet, Brock?
What makes him hard to cover?
Why is he so bleeping hard to cover? Why?
I mean, look, if I feel like people knew that right now, maybe they would have less success. It's just, it's not like he's the only guy running the route. He's part of the progression. So like he's either the first guy in the progression, second, third. talk about shocking. That's probably a good one for you, Brock. Is like,
Yeah.
it looks like he makes he makes very like high level stuff look not pedestrian, but like it looks just like simple. Like, you know, it's just
I'll
simple.
tell you what's remarkable. I'll tell you what's remarkable to me, Mike, and maybe this started in Green Bay, was like the first time I really heard it when you guys practiced there, and all the scuttlebutt from the media and people that were there were like, my gosh, Sam and JSN were just on the same page. I watched it. I watched it with Peyton and Marvin. I watched it with Matt Hasselbeck and Bobby Ingram. Like, I had it with a high school and college teammate where I could close my eyes and I know exactly where he is. I think what's remarkable is that Sam and JSN have done this in 6 months, 7 months together.
Yeah. It's a great point. That's what I'm really saying is you run a 7 cut, looks like a 7 cut, but what goes into it? What goes into an in cut? Like the timing of it, how many times it takes for Sam to, take the footwork required for Jax to get to that spot. It's some high level stuff. It's shocking stuff, that really is when you look at it. And so you have to, I think you have to appreciate and respect like the work that goes into and the dedication to your craft to make that come to life. And look, and he's a great. And now you start laying around like the guy's an incredible athlete. He's a great competitor. He's got great body control. The ball skills are insane. Like, and you start adding on all the things that he can do. And now I think that's where you end up where we're at.
How about the way he's being put in a position by the play caller and what Clint has done to kind of bring out some of his skills?
Yeah, it's a great point. Clint, all of our guys are doing great job. Clint, Janoko, Pete's, Mac does a great job with it. But like, if one guy's just going to stand in one spot all the time and he runs from the same split, well, there's a lot of stuff on defense that we can do to manipulate how he gets the ball and things like that. But it's a testament to Jax to be able to move around. It's not easy. Play multiple positions, different spots, all that. And our coaches too for making that, seem simple and seamless and moving around where you can't just quote unquote cloud him all the time, or play cover 2 to him or play cover 4 to him or just play man, like these are some answers. You double him. Okay. Well, now you double him. Now somebody else is. So, you got to keep the target moving and you got to try to stay ahead of the curve. And so far our guys have done that.
What are we doing in bye week?
We're meeting today. We're going through everything. I'm going to go see my dad tomorrow morning. So he's doing good.
Awesome.
But go visit him, and then I'll be working ahead on Self Scout and working on the Commanders. Lots of fun.
What do you expect to see in Self Scout? Like, will you watch it and be like, "Oh man, we did a pretty good job with this," or are you just so focused on the places you can improve that it's hard to even notice some of those?
No, it's good. Yeah, you definitely want to build on the positive things. I think it's an opportunity to like narrow the focus, solve some problems. Let's come up with some really cool solutions on how we want to move forward. I think that's fun. Process wise is also up for grabs. Like, how are we preparing our team? Monday through Saturday, like that's up for discussion. Personnel. How are we utilizing our personnel? Like that'll be interesting.
You're gonna have a lot of dudes in the secondary.
Yeah, it's a great problem to have.
Yeah.
No more Cooper Cup passing, probably. Like Dave Pearson's in the room, he would tell you something like that happened. Holmgren's like, "We're out. I'm done with that. We're not doing that again. That's out."
Is it better for the competition to say that we're not going to do it and then maybe we'll do it, or are we going to say that we will do it and have them not do it?
I don't know.
Never know. Yeah.
We try to send out this tape to all of the opposing coaches. So
I'm sure they're listening too.
Yeah, them and everyone else.
Yeah,
that's how we go from 7 to 8 listeners. Coach, thank you. And Brock's right. From everyone in Seattle, thank you for coming up with a win last night. It was it was a really great defensive effort, man. What the defense did last night was super fun to watch.
You guys need to thank our players. Our players are the ones that did it.
I'm too busy insulting them, unfortunately. But if I run into one or two, I'll try to thank them.
Their creativity.
Yeah,
And
their
shout out
M.O.B
to the
Ties.
12s. That allows an electric atmosphere.
Cool.
I think our team put on a heck of a thing with all the fireworks and stuff. That was really cool.
All right, we got to run. Thank you, Coach. We appreciate it. Have a great bye week.